When my 17-year-old daughter Emma was excluded from my sister's wedding, I didn't protest. I didn't plead for special treatment or try to negotiate. I simply stated we won't be there. And that was that. My name is Sarah Thompson. I'm 39, a nurse practitioner living in Vermont. I've been Emma's mom since she was 3. She entered my life with wide, cautious eyes that seemed to absorb every detail around her. She was quiet at first, observing as if gauging whether the world could be trusted. The first time she called me mom, I wept silently in my car after dropping her off at preschool. It meant the world to me. From that moment, I vowed she'd never feel unwanted in my family again. I thought I was keeping that promise. Until the wedding. My younger sister, Lauren, got engaged last spring. Big reveal, sparkling ring, and a social media post that read like a bridal magazine. I congratulated her, naturally. Emma even crafted a card for her, with paper, flowers, and delicate sparkles, poured with so much care it tugged at my heart. Lauren smiled, called it charming, then left it crumpled in her car's backseat. I found it there weeks later, buried under a takeout bag. But Emma stayed excited. She browsed dresses online, debated whether to wear her hair up or down, and wondered if she could help with the decor. I could see her hope, tinged with nerves. Then the invitation arrived. It was one of those elegant, embossed envelopes with silver edges. I opened it at the kitchen island while Emma worked on her assignments nearby. It listed the usual details, date, time, dress code. Then I saw the line that changed everything. Adults only, 18 and older, no exceptions, strictly enforced. I read it again. Emma must have noticed my expression shift because she glanced up from her notebook and asked, "Doesn't she want me there?" I replied, "It's an 18 and over event." My voice was steady, but my hands shook. She paused, then asked, "Is it because I'm adopted?" That question broke something deep within me. She didn't ask it with tears or bitterness, just a flat, weary tone, like a truth she'd long suspected. I said no, absolutely not. But I understood what she meant. I knew exactly what she meant. It wasn't the first time Emma had been made to feel like an outsider. It wasn't always blatant. It didn't come with harsh words or raised voices. It was subtler. My mother calling Emma Sarah's kid instead of her name, or Lauren saying your daughter, like Emma was a friend's child tagging along, not her niece. I kept hoping it was unintentional, that they were still adjusting, that if I explained enough, stayed kind enough, they'd warm up. But the signs kept mounting. Like when we attended a family dinner and Emma offered to help in the kitchen. No one responded, not a word. She stood by the counter, holding a bowl of carrots, unsure what to do next. Or at Easter, when every grandchild had a basket with their name embroidered, except Emma's, which just read Happy Spring in plain text. She didn't comment. She just held it and smiled, as she always did. The first time I saw her truly let down was when she drew a picture of our family, me, her, and my husband, David, and gave it to my mom. It was a vibrant sketch with bright colors and tiny stars. My mom said thanks, set it aside, and that was it. Later, Emma asked why it wasn't on the fridge like her cousin's drawings. I had no answer. I wanted to believe they didn't realize how they were making her feel. But over time, I saw the truth. When Emma was 6, she told my dad she wanted to be a painter. He laughed and said she'd need something more practical. At 8, she offered to help plan a family picnic, and Lauren said, "That's sweet, but let the grown-ups handle it." It was constant, not loud, not cruel, just dismissive. Always enough to make Emma second-guess herself. I thought I could fix it by showing up, by inviting them to her birthdays, her school plays, her life. But the more we showed up, the clearer it became. They didn't fully accept that Emma was permanent. Part of them, I think, still expected I'd have my own child someday, that Emma was a temporary act of kindness they could praise from afar. As if one day they'd say, "Remember when Sarah took in that sweet girl?" They never said it outright. They didn't need to. The wedding invitation made it clear. It wasn't just a rule. It was a boundary drawn in ink. A message that she wasn't truly one of us, not when it counted. I didn't respond to the invitation. I didn't call Lauren or plead my case. I logged into the RSVP portal and clicked, "Not attending." No explanation, just no. The next day, my phone buzzed with a text from Lauren. "Hey, saw your RSVP. Is everything okay?" Then another, "If this is about the age rule, I hope you get it. We're keeping it consistent for everyone. Nothing personal, right?" Nothing personal, except it was. Emma wasn't a distant relative. She wasn't a colleague's kid or a random +1. She was Lauren's niece, my daughter. She was 17, not 7. She'd made a card, picked a dress, planned her hairstyle. She wanted to belong. And now that was brushed off as a formality. I didn't reply. Hours later, my younger sister, Claire, texted. "Lauren said you're not coming. What's going on?" Then my mom called. She only calls when something's wrong, so I answered, dread pooling in my stomach. "Sarah," she said, "I heard you're skipping the wedding. Is this really about the age limit?" I said, "Emma wasn't invited. I'm not going without her. She's almost 18. There was a pause. Then she said, "It's not like she's a toddler. She's family." I waited. She didn't say more, no apology, no recognition of how Emma might feel. "Don't punish your sister over this," she added. "It's one night." I didn't argue. I said, "We're not coming," and ended the call. That should have been the end. But it wasn't. The group chat exploded. First, Claire, "Can't believe you're blowing this out of proportion over one rule. You always stir up drama." Then Lauren, "This isn't about Emma, you're making it about her." Finally, my mom, with a long message about forgiveness and family harmony and how hard it is to be caught in the middle. Meanwhile, Emma deleted the dress photos from her phone. She didn't cry. She just erased them like they no longer mattered, like she'd expected this all along. That, more than the wedding or the texts, broke my heart. She wasn't surprised. She'd already learned what I'd been too slow to accept. They never truly saw her, and she knew it. Time passed. The wedding happened. No one apologized. No one mentioned it again. They acted like things could snap back to normal, like Emma's exclusion was a minor glitch, not a lasting wound. Then December arrived. Every year I hosted Christmas. It was tradition. I cooked, cleaned, rented extra chairs, dragged out the big table extension from the garage. I did it all, even when I was exhausted, even when I didn't feel festive. Not this time. I didn't send invites. I didn't start the group chat. I didn't plan a thing. When David asked, "Should I order the chairs?" I shook my head. "No extra seats this year," I said. He didn't push. Emma didn't either. They both understood, but the silence, that's what got to them. Mid-December, the messages started. "Claire, hey, are we doing Christmas Eve at your place? Let me know what to bring. Lauren will be 5 as usual. Let me know if Emma wants anything special this year, if she's even showing up." That one stung. If she's even showing up. As if Emma had chosen to miss the wedding. As if her absence was a teenage whim, not a deliberate exclusion. I didn't respond, not to that, not to any of it. For the first time in years, I didn't polish the floors, deck the halls, or buy extra wine. I didn't pretend. I didn't perform, and when they didn't hear back, they started calling. First my mom, I let it ring. Then Claire, then Lauren. Finally, my dad left a voicemail. "Sarah, we just want to know what's happening. Your mother's upset. It's not too late to do the right thing." The right thing. As if the right thing was hosting people who'd sidelined my daughter. As if feeding them would erase the hurt they never acknowledged. So no, we didn't host Christmas. Instead, we made pasta in our pajamas. Emma baked cookies in odd shapes that crumbled easily. We watched movies, laughed, opened gifts early. No one tiptoed around feelings. No one decoded subtle jabs. No one went quiet when Emma walked in. It was calm, peaceful, complete. And that's when I realized something. All those years, I'd mistaken tradition for love. I'd confused duty with connection. I thought hosting made me matter, that holding everything together made me belong. But that Christmas, without the chaos, the pretending, the weight of forced unity, I saw it clearly. Peace isn't quiet because nothing's wrong. It's quiet because nothing's being ignored. A few days after Christmas, Emma was curled up on the sofa under her favorite throw, sketching in her journal. She always drew when she needed to process. People, emotions, moments too big for words. I was tidying up nearby when she paused, pencil hovering. Without looking up, she asked, "If I wasn't adopted, do you think they'd care about me more?" My hands froze. The question hit like a stone I wasn't prepared for. I sat beside her. "Sweetheart," I said softly, "they might have hidden it better, but how they treat people who are different, that's never been about you." She looked at me then with those same deep, knowing eyes she had when we met. A look that felt wiser than her years. A look that saw everything, even the truths no one admits. "I don't think I care if they like me anymore," she said. It wasn't angry. It wasn't bitter. It was steady, final. Like a choice to guard her heart. And that was when I stopped waiting for an apology. I'd spent years trying to keep the peace, making excuses, hoping they'd change if I stayed kind, stayed patient, stayed small. But my daughter wasn't small. She was strong. She was clear, and if she could set a boundary, I could hold it. Days later, my dad called again. I didn't pick up. He texted, "Your mom can't sleep. She feels like she's lost you. We know we messed up, but that doesn't justify cutting everyone off. That's not who you are." I stared at that text for a long time. That's not who you are. For a while, I wondered the same. I questioned if I was too harsh, too sensitive, too unforgiving. But I know who I am now. I'm someone who knows what she won't tolerate. I'm someone who understands that keeping peace at the cost of her child's dignity isn't love. It's fear masquerading as loyalty, and I'm done being afraid. Then came the final sting. A voicemail from Lauren, carefully worded, sweet on the surface but sharp beneath. I just think it's sad, Sarah. You always talk about how much you love Emma, but now it feels like you're using her as an excuse. Like any time someone doesn't treat her like a princess, you shut them out. That's not healthy, that's not parenting, that's fixation. I didn't listen to the rest. I deleted it and blocked her number. Because if loving Emma fiercely, fully, without apology is fixation, then so be it. Yes, I'm fixated. I'm fixated on showing my daughter she deserves to be included. That she doesn't have to earn love by being quiet, polite, or easy to overlook. That she should never confuse tolerance with acceptance. I'm fixated on protecting the one person who needed me most. The one who never got the benefit of the doubt. The one who had to prove she belonged in a family that claimed to love her but never showed it. And no, I don't regret it. I regret the years I stayed quiet. The holidays I welcomed people who treated her like a visitor in her own home. The birthdays where she smiled while others barely noticed her. The thank yous she offered to people who didn't care to know her favorite color, her passions, her laugh. I regret every time I tried to keep the peace instead of standing up for her. But no more. Emma doesn't ask for much. She never has. But what she needs, what she's always needed, is a mother who chooses her every time. And that's who I am. I'm not the keeper of family traditions. I'm not the mediator, the planner, the one who smooths things over so no one feels uneasy. I'm Emma's mom. And if that means shutting the door on those who can't see her value, I'll shut it. Quietly, gently, but for good. Because this isn't about vengeance. It's about love. Love that doesn't waver. Love that doesn't apologize for existing. Love that says you are enough. And I'll never let anyone make you feel otherwise. The new year arrived softly. No fanfare, no chaos, just the three of us, me, David, and Emma, gathered by the fireplace, playing a board game she got for Christmas, laughing at how terrible we were at it. And in that stillness, I felt something I hadn't in years. Relief. I wasn't waiting anymore, not for the next text, the next slight, the next tense gathering. I wasn't planning how to navigate the feelings of people who made my daughter feel invisible. I was just living with my family, my true family. Looking back, there were so many times I could have spoken louder sooner. But healing doesn't always come with a big speech. Sometimes it's one small choice, like saying no. Like not renting extra chairs, like letting the silence speak. And when I think of Emma's question, if I wasn't adopted, would they care about me more? It still weighs on me. But I'm proud of her response. I don't think I care if they like me anymore. That wasn't resentment. That was clarity. That was her learning the most vital lesson I could teach her. That love shouldn't hurt. That it doesn't demand you earn your place. That it doesn't vanish when your existence makes others uncomfortable. So if you're hearing this and you've been there, if you've had to choose between peace and pretending, it's okay to choose peace. It's okay to stop explaining. It's okay to stop hoping they'll change. And it's okay to protect your child, your heart, your peace, even if it disappoints everyone else. Because love that asks you to shrink isn't love at all. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs it. And if you've ever stood firm for someone you love, share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear it. Like, comment, subscribe. And remember, sometimes silence is the loudest, most powerful truth you can offer.